Okay, everybody, we are taking Journey, there she is back there, out for her first camping trip. And this is going to be fun for us too, because since we got it, this is the first time we've been out. So we're going to head to a park here in Tennessee. It's called Cedars at Lebanon. And we want you guys to come with us and learn as we learn on our new adventure that we are so excited before we pull out in a couple weeks. So let's get to the campsite. Okay guys, we just checked in, we got our pass, we got our map, and now we're headed to our site. Okay everybody, we have to empty our tanks because we kind of been living in this sucker for the last couple weeks. So we are at the dumping station and my sweetie is getting ready to dump for the first time. So this is going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. So let's get that on and popping. Okay guys, our superhero getting ready to do some dumping, and then we'll show you guys the inside later or next video. But because today we're going to set up and try to relax, but this ought to be fun. Sneaky. So he's got the hose. So proud of him. He's been watching videos, you guys. I have no clue how any of this works, so it's good to have an enthusiast.
I think I'll probably have to pull up some.
Okay.
Just because.
Well, don't take the top off, honey, till you pull up.
Well, I'm not gonna take the top off. It's not gonna come out until.
But we got to put it back in here when we get done.
Okay.
So, all right, guys, let's go and close this door while we pull up just a little. Okay. The question here is, what end do you connect?
There's gotta be something else.
There's. Yeah. How do you know which hole it goes in? There's two holes.
Well, that's a light post.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a light post.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
That's all they gave you?
Yeah, that's it. It's two pieces in the box. But I think they just...
Those are just ends.
Yeah.
Pieces.
Yeah, that's it.
So this ain't gonna work then.
It might. Maybe you got it hooked onto the wrong side.
How?
Maybe it goes on the outside. I don't know.
Can't be.
So what we need is somebody who's done this before. Or go to YouTube University.
I don't know. YouTube University always comes through for us. But it's got to be something else that goes with it. We're just going to find out and see. So we might have to go to YouTube University. Because I know for a fact that this is definitely the part that goes on here.
Okay, so...
And this also fits like that. So you
well, then maybe you put it on there and then put the other side goes to... Dad, that's how it goes. Yeah, just like that. Woohoo! And then slide it in there.
No, honey. Because this got a...
Maybe it's the other side.
Well, maybe this is
maybe
for like...
this clamps onto this because there's the notches that goes in there.
Huh?
Yeah, like that.
She is so
and then
smart.
that part goes in the hole.
We don't need YouTube.
No, we don't.
We just
watch
need...
it, but we still need to pull the truck up.
We need each other. I'm so serious. Because, okay, even though we've been watching a lot of videos, half of the stuff, everything that we've done so far is nothing like the video. So I just want to say that.
Okay, honey. I'll hold this. You pull up.
Okay.
And then...
No, actually, I think it'll like go over there.
You sure? Oh, yeah. It's... Shut up. Okay.
And that's
now, Release the hounds. I am so glad we cannot see what's about to come out of
Yeah,
here.
that's the reason why I use that end first, because most people do have an attachment that goes there, and that's the reason why, because you can see.
Talk while you're doing it, honey, because we
Which
got
one
to
do you
get
want to
to
empty first?
the gray or the black. You could do black. Ooh, got that urine. It's finna rain. We got here to get to our site. Oh my goodness.
Don't show it.
That is disgusting. Oh, that is funny.
Oh my goodness, guys. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. I seen a chunk. All right. That sounds like that's empty. And then, guys, I'll show you in the inside how we know when the tanks are empty or not. So we're going to finish this up. We're not going to make you suffer through this video. We're going to go ahead and finish this up, get to our site. I'm feeling raindrops, so I'm really ready to get all this done. And we will come back once we made it to the site. Keep going. I am so excited, you guys. This is going to be a restful weekend. My baby got this. There she is, you guys. Our weekend home. So excited. Okay, you guys, we have had a real ordeal today with our camper. And now we are outside scouring for branches and getting our dinner ready. So we are out here, and I like to mention that this is Cedric's first trip camping. So yay, go Cedric, he did a good job today. And this is really cold out here, so it's really nice for the heat. And so now we're going to get some food on the grill. And we got a fire pit over there we're going to get started in a minute. And I know it's hard to see, so tomorrow this video will be more in depth. So we're going to sign off for tonight and say see you in the morning. So hold tight. Okay, we're back. Now, we started this video a couple days ago, and it's going to be a little weird. I just tell you that up front. We started out with our beginning journey of just taking her out and trying to get a feel of how to hook up at a park, how she's going to drive with the new truck, just some first time stuff for us. And this part of the video is going to pretty much be a wrap up of the things we've encountered and just leaving, the things we've learned along the way, just our experience as being out the first time. So I can tell you, before we even left the house, we had the issue of just pulling the trailer out of the backyard. That was interesting. Starting out, I was at the wheel, which was probably mistake number one. And I kept wanting to hit the corner of the house. Sorry, Sarah, if you see this, but I didn't. And so we had to tag team. And one of the things we've been learning is communication on getting hooked up, knowing which direction that the wheel needs to be cutting and turning, hand signals that he understands, language that when I say it, he gets it, and when he says it, I get it, is proving to be very key in all of this, because I'm going a little more over here and he's like, what? You know, which way, left or right? You know, and it's easy to get frustrated because it's not a process that we have completely down packed. Like, we're learning it, but it's not down to a science for us. So just getting it hooked up took us about 20 minutes.
About 20, yeah.
Yeah. 20 minutes and hooking up a trailer is a long time. I'm gonna just tell you, it's not
as small as this. I would definitely say, because I think the bigger rigs that we see like across from us right now, it seems like it took them a pretty long time to get it detached from the truck. And also, I think that because we have such a small rig, our hookup time should be significantly smaller than 20 minutes. But as Erica said, it is definitely um, a learning experience,
And it's
and
not something you want to rush through.
it's definitely
You
not.
need a checklist. And so you can check out my blog where I go through how, how essential it is for us to have a checklist. So we know that where are all the pins? Because everything takes a pin through it. And those pins, you put it down and you'll never find it again.
Ever.
So it's like, okay, pins need to have a home, the ball needs to have a home, your hand signals need to be clear on and precise, play on each other's strengths. So if backing up is not your thing, don't volunteer for that. If pulling out is not your thing, don't volunteer for that. If you're good with just saying you're good, then that is more help than what you think it is, because it only takes a second to hit your trailer and have damage to your truck and your home.
Right.
So it's like one of those things that we've learned just leaving is have clear communication. It's going to take patience. It's going to take time, longer than you might want or you think, but we're in no rush. You know,
Exactly.
the thing is, has become our way of life, and so we're just not in a rush. So if it takes us 30 minutes to get things hooked up, it just takes 30 minutes. We just have to do it. I would much rather stop, get something to drink, look at it, kind of brainstorm, and then start it, than to keep trying to work through the frustration of trying to
Exactly.
make it happen. So that's one of the things we learned. Our tongue jack sits really low for some reason. And so on the way out of the driveway, we managed to hit the curb and bend that. So we didn't realize that till we got here. And with us still needing the stabilizer to kind of make the camper even with the truck and have more sway control over that, yeah, that happened. And it wasn't until we got here to set up that we realized that the foot that goes on that to kind of help it be stable was not going on.
It was bent completely. And so that's like, as of right now, um, this camper is brand new. Nobody's ever lived in it or taken it anywhere besides us. I said that to say that it's not brand new anymore. It's damaged. We have our first little bit of damage, and it's to the tongue jack. But however, um, honestly, a lot of people that are here at this park right here, right now, aren't using those anyway. They are using either the leveling blocks, or they're using big blocks of wood that they've had created just to sit the tongue of the electric jack on. We haven't had any problem. Our neighbor, Mr. and Mrs. David over here,
Who are from Mobile.
they're from Mobile, Alabama. Came right over, was very helpful. The guys that just pulled in their fifth wheel over here across from us, they're very helpful. They came over this morning to check out um, our gauges, or see if we had a gauge, because they said most of them have gauges. But we bought an aftermarket gauge that proved to be
Faulty.
very, very, very faulty.
And that is another thing we learned.
Right.
We got here, well, before we left, he put the gauge on, and it looked fairly simple to install. But as soon as he put it on there, we went from green to almost out. And so by the time we got here and got set up, it was almost night. Even though we left work early, even though we were like prepared, we still got here right at dusk.
Right.
So the goal was to kind of get things set up, because you don't want to be out here in the dark trying to get stuff done, and B, in the cold. So we tried to get here, get things set up. That's when the tongue jack bending, we recognized that, and we were like, oh goodness gracious, we got to unhook this from the truck. We can't spend all weekend connected to the truck like this. What are we going to do? And like he said, Mr. David, I think he was more intrigued that we were here and I'm not going to throw a race into it, but he was curious.
There aren't any black people out
From
there,
the
guys.
second we pulled in, he was impressed with his backing up skills.
Right.
But they were so kind. I mean, it's not a race thing. I think people are just curious on how did you get into it, because it's not something that everybody wants to do.
And let's just be honest, guys. You don't see a lot of people of color. You don't see a lot of African Americans doing the RV life. And that's something that I would say is very becoming more common the more this lifestyle is exposed on YouTube, Instagram, and all of that. But however, I will say the girls laying across the bed looking out at the beach and the sunset is all smoke and mirrors, guys.
It's Instagram stage. I mean, it can be.
It can be if that's what you want.
It can be. It will be for us when we get to the beach.
I was about to say, we could definitely set this up and take photos. And,
but that's not everyday life.
It's not reality, guys. It's definitely not reality.
She's not showing you that she pumps her toilet.
Right. Or pour water down the drain, or broke down, or the tongue jack. And these are all the things that, we are showing you guys, even all the way down to our first time emptying our tank.
Yes, which you guys seen earlier in this video, that, even that, it took two brains to do that. Yeah. It was like paying attention to the fact that the grooves go this way and they interlock that way, without thinking, this thing is broken. No, it's you. You don't know how to use it.
Just one more thing.
Yeah.
There's always something that you need more.
Oh man, don't even go there.
That
it's
one
like
more thing.
So many things. As soon as you think, okay, I think we're ready to go, you get somewhere and somebody asks you, hey, you guys got this? And you're like, no. And they're like, you're going to need it. And so this is something that it's like home ownership. You'll always be making repairs. You'll always need something new. You'll have good neighbors, you'll have bad neighbors. It's a life adventure. And back to our propane situation, being that we got here thinking that we were almost out, and I was thinking to myself, how could we not have checked that? Like that needs to go on the list. Before we pull out, check the propane. And so we both were praying, Lord, just, that was the night the snow came. Yeah. So it was like, Lord, please help us to stay warm till in the morning. I was thinking about the story of the widow and her son, where she just had a little corn of oil and they prayed and the oil lasts. So I was like, Lord, if you can multiply a little corn of oil so they can make bread, please just help us to stay warm until the morning. And so she went strong all night long, and we couldn't have sleep. It was like when we went to Disney World for the first time, when we took the kids, we were up about 5 because we were like, he was like, you sleep? I was like, no, I'm not asleep. We were super excited. So we were excited to be here, and it was so beautiful because the snow was untouched and nobody had walked through it yet except for people with, with their dogs and so on and so forth. So we got up and took a shower, and our goal was to get some propane so we weren't spending all day away from here, driving around in the snow, on the ice, trying to find propane.
It was dangerous out there.
Yeah. So we found a Tractor Supply place, and the guy was like, yeah, this feels full. And so come to find out, it was full. We were only down like 2.5 gallons, and it holds 7. So we were good on that. And so we were really blessed that wasn't the situation that we were out. So we just decided to take the gauge off and call Good Salmon. Let them know that they need to pull these off the shelf.
I think around 4:30 or so we woke up that morning to go shower, and
it was 5 because we get up early every day anyway.
To shower, I think it was around 5. Yeah, we went over there. The showers here at Cedars of Lebanon State, Tennessee Park is very, very, very good.
And you can check out our video on Cedars of Lebanon Park. We did a park review.
Right.
So you can go and check that out, and I'll put a link to that in the bottom of the description. Make sure you go ahead on and subscribe, because you never know where we're going to end up. You never going to know what we're going to be talking about. And as we travel and our community grows, if you join our Patreon family, you'll have access to those conversations and the behind the scenes stuff and our live chats and our videos with other RV campers and so on and so forth. And we just love to have your support, And you can check that out. I'll put a link to that below. So the video and our Patreon and how you can follow us on social media will also be down there below. But and the link to Cedars of Lebanon. So this is the park. I'm sure this place is absolutely amazing and jumping in the spring and summer. But yesterday people were hunkered down. Like there was nobody really stirring around here.
You had a few children, but I think because
That was late in the evening.
yeah, that was really later. Like once it started to kind of melt a little bit. But I think the kids that were out here, they're kids. I mean, if you were a child, you could remember back when it snowed. Maybe some of them it's probably their first time or whatnot. And you know, a lot of those people or the kids, you know, they were just kind of having fun. But they went inside, and a lot of people here this morning were asking us, you know, how did we stay warm? Did, you know, our furnace work, and did it do a good job? This thing for us now,
smoke you out of here.
I will say this. This is one of the best. I don't know the brand, and so I can't really just say that off the muscle. Oh, I can actually tell you, it's Suburban manufacturing company, but they do make furnaces for the RVs. This thing is great, guys. I know a lot of people talk about in their videos that you should have all matching appliances. If you got the High Point microwave, you should have the High Point. We have everything different. We got Norco fridge, Greystone burner. We got a different hub over the vent hub. We have a different microwave. Plus, we also have a different heating system. But it's by Dometic, and you can see that up here. It's by Dometic. Suburban just makes the thermostat.
I would agree to have all matching appliances if we had bought a camper and redid it.
Yeah.
Like if we were refurbishing our own camper and we were going in to get it, but being that they did this, you know, I'm pretty confident in the things that they chose, because the fridge is a decent sized fridge. And if you haven't already, you can check out our video that we did of the walkthrough of this whole place, where we kind of showed you the ins and outs of our new home, and outside and inside in the little nooks and crannies. So to see what we're talking about, you can just go take a look at that video as well. Another thing I think we've learned is stabilization, and how important that is. And it's one of those things that plays with your mind, because you get it stable and then you walk around and then no matter what, everybody is on blocks. And you feel like, did we do that right? You know, should we be on blocks too? It's like one of those mirror effects where you see it and then you feel like you're doing something wrong. Well, the concrete's leveled, but everybody's still, you know, on stackers. Should we be on stackers? And it's one of those things that you just have to learn what's going to work for your rig. A lot of these rigs out here are like double the size of this one, and so they may need it where we may not. And then we may feel like, yeah, just to be on the safe side, to make sure it's extremely level, use your stackers. And the stackers we got were from Walmart, and so you can get them anywhere, because Walmart all of a sudden decides to carry RV supplies in the car section. I think they caught on to the trend of RV living, and they decided to make an aisle that stays sold out, because our neighbor went to go get some RV antifreeze or recreational vehicle antifreeze Friday night to keep from freezing, and they were completely out. And it makes sense, because we're in an area where there are a lot of RV parks that are not cheap. RV, and we're in a state park, and it was $40 a night. And I think it was just the time of the year, spring break and long weekends. And I think another reason why people weren't stirring yesterday, because a lot of people that are around us are, I'm not going to use the word elderly, but they are mature. And nobody wants to get out here and slip and fall and hurt yourself, and then you still got to get back home. So they just played it safe and kind of hunkered down. They knew they were going to be here longer than the weekend. We were just here for the weekend to abuse the electricity so we could stay warm through the snow. And so one of the things that I think was very important was just getting a chance to slow down and really get to know our functions. And so I think we've done that pretty well, and there'll be things that we'll still need to know as we get out, like how to turn the hot water on, which is so shameful of us, because we should know that.
Yeah.
But it's like, yesterday we weren't arguing, but we had a strong discussion of who should be calling to do that. And I guess I'll just need to break down and make the phone call. But we really have not. I'm not going to use the word found the need, but we really have been blessed to where we haven't missed out for not having it because we've had access to hot water. But the goal is we should be leaving here in about 2 weeks, hopefully. And we want to be able to know how everything runs. And even what we're still learning is how the tow brakes work in our truck, because we got a new truck and then a new camper. So you want to know those things because we may not always be traveling on flat land.
That's very true.
And so so it's a lot of things we still need to know. But overall, honey, how would you rate our experience being first time out in Journey?
You know, even though we've told these people all of our faults and things that have happened,
Van life.
Definitely. I love the vans.
People pulling in a van.
You know, they're very cool. If you're one-manner, the vans are my thing. But I will say that I hope that any other park that we go to, I hope it is as easy to maneuver as this one. The people across from us got a fifth wheel. They actually should be here where we are. We should probably be where they are, because it's easy to hook our RV around the corner and keep it straight versus, you know, them having this huge trailer that they got to try to hook inside of the driveway. This one was fairly easy to move, and one thing that I always discuss with Erica when she's behind the wheel of the trailer backing it up
is get out and let
slow.
me do it.
Never that. Really just slow. Take your time. Move it easy. Turn very slow. Slow is easy. Because if you turn it too fast, it starts to cockside and it'll jackknife, and you don't want to damage the corner of the trailer, which I think that's how a lot of people end up with that type of damage, is because you really can't see the corner of the trailer, and it will, I mean, it's on a hitch that's gonna go all the way to one side like this, and when it's like that, the one side of whichever it's on is gonna be crushed. And so again, as Erica was stating earlier, communication is very much the key in a situation like this, especially for people like us, because this is everything that we have. So we have to be extremely careful. Nothing has to be speedy or fast.
Yeah, we're not in a rush.
We just take our time. But however, back to your original question, I will say this experience has been about a 10, guys. This heater is about to, I want to turn it off right now. This heater is the best. Okay, if we were sitting here now, I will say in the bunk area it is a little chilly because, you know, you kind of lay right by the window. Some days I sleep there because I like the little cut area, but being in the main bedding area, it is really hot from this heater. But it has been great through this type of weather, and I can just see us not really having anything to worry about if it was worse than this, because number one, the trailer is outfitted for this type of weather. It has PVC solar reflectors on the top that reflects the sun away. It's a white roof. It's thermal insulated, so we don't have to worry about the cold. Now when the heater is not on, I mean, it's a hollow place, so of course it's going to be cold. We haven't had any reflectors or anything like that to the window just yet. But I will say the experience of just being my very first time camping, period. I've never been camping at all. I will say that this was a good solid 9. And I'll take the little 1 point for just us pulling out of the driveway and bending the tongue jack.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Other than that, that doesn't really, it's not a deal breaker, guys. And I think with something like this, if you're living in it full time, you have to remember that things are going to happen because it's not meant to live in full time. This is just for recreational fun. And we've chose to make this our home and be extremely careful with the things that we do inside while we're inside. We have been very careful we realize that things are not this thick, they're this much thin. Okay, so we're very careful about how we do things, and it's been a great experience for me. Being my first time, I've never did anything like this in my life.
It
Erica,
would have been
however,
nice
has.
if we could have enjoyed the fire pit
The fire
and
pit
the grill.
and the grill. Now
That would have been nice if we could have just, took advantage of that, but
the grill wasn't the problem. The charcoal that we chose to buy and the lighter fluid from Walmart, which I'm not going to even put them out there again, it was just terrible.
We gave up on the meal.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
We had to actually
Pull
bring
out
out
the camping
stove and just cook the burgers that way.
But I can tell you, we're not going to... I can see why people go ahead on and spend a little $200 for the little grill, the little camping grill.
Or griddle.
Yeah.
Because she wants the griddle. I wouldn't mind having like a little, just maybe a 12 ounce grill or something like that. Just enough for me and her. Throw a few charcoals in it, sit by the door. We got table, chairs. We have all the camping things that if need be, we don't have to be in here. Everything that we got here inside, we can actually take outside. We're actually missing a cooler, and we're not sure if we want to get the Yeti cooler or a cooler that lasts for a few days. Just
they have some, and they run about $60-$70. But I noticed while we were here, a lot of people have coolers outside. I'm curious to ask what they keep in it, because I know like this may not be a bear type park, but a lot of people tell you don't leave stuff like food outside. So I was curious to know what they kept out there, but I know they do have some coolers where it keeps the ice for 4 or 5 days, or dry ice or whatever. And so when we travel out west, that would probably be something very wise for us to invest in, because riding with propane on is a no-no. It's against the law, and it's absolutely dangerous. So you can't turn the fridge to propane, right? And it's not plugged up, so it can't run off the electricity. And after you have spent money or whatever, you don't want to see it go bad. So normally people just buy food once they get there and they know they can hook up and keep it cold. But what if that's not the case? Like, what if we want to keep something because we have plans? We can put it in the cooler and have it on the ground and
or
come
just
here
boondocking.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, where we are located,
well, with the boondocking, with the generator, we can hook up to that and use electricity. But you don't want to juice it with the fridge running on electric, but you could turn it on propane. And so our journey here has just begun, and so many things that we are finding out now. I know there's still more to come as we go, and we are not going to draw this video out because it's about 45 minutes long, and the fact that you guys hung out with us that long, we really do appreciate all your support. And if you found this video helpful or entertaining, go ahead on and subscribe. We got our merch. This is one of our t-shirts. We got some others, and soon I'll have some links posted to where you can get that if you're an RVer and you'd like to have some merch of ours. You can also join our Patreon family. There you go. You can also join our Patreon family and go from there if you'd like to. And we're just so thankful to have you guys take this opportunity with us. And so we are going to end this video with just thanking you and saying we appreciate you. And we hope that we inspire you to take a journey and have some fun and some new experiences, because we're definitely looking forward to ours. And I would say that this trip out this weekend is a real eye-opener to the fact that there's not going to be something to do every second of the day. It's okay to slow down and relax and be patient with yourself as you are learning something new, and be ready to improvise.
I am an outside, always like to be outside go person. Being that this weekend being here, it was the Sabbath for us. I just rested, and I will say that I had a really good time, because I was looking for something to do around here. This place is amazing, guys. We haven't even really went through all of what it has to offer, or even just giving you guys a drive around tour of this place. But I will say that there's a lot of family fun packed here in this place here in Tennessee. I never knew, and we passed by this place a lot, never knew it was here. And I will say that because it snowed, it kind of made for us to be inside and slow down, which gave us a little bit more knowledge into our rig and what the capabilities, like turning things off before we unplug them, which trips the GFI. It turns off everything, so we have to reset those things. And just remembering to put things where they go, the little pins. Um, but other than that, guys, like I said, this has been a great experience. I'm sure it has been for Erica. She's been definitely wanting to do this for a really long time. And it's just a great experience to be around other people that do or does the same or do I'm sorry do the same thing, and they're so they're so willing to help you if you don't know something. If you don't know something, if you're broken down, if something is wrong, these people do not mind.
It's a
Okay,
community.
it is definitely much so a community, and so I really appreciate anybody who has walked up to us to see why are we here. How did we get into this type of lifestyle as colored people, because there aren't a lot of colored people doing this. But
What are you living in the 1950s?
No, I'm just
Talking about colored.
Well, black colors. What I will say is that they have been very, very, very very warm people, very, very, very good, just Samaritans, willing to help. You don't even have to ask. So with that being said, I know every park probably won't be like this, but being that this is my first experience, it has been great. And I have no fear whatsoever that we can go anywhere and survive, especially if we're around people who enjoy doing the same thing, guys. So if that's what you want to do,
that's a great end to this video. To just say, just get out there, enjoy yourself, enjoy the experience, good or bad, learn from it, and just have some fun. And so with that, we're going to thank you so much for watching our video. Again, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.